everyone, Miss GoElectric here. Now I have a lot of people asking me to recommend an all-purpose, good quality, affordable e-bike that sits around about $1,000. And usually when you're shopping in that price range, you find that you have to make quite a few compromises, whether that be on the design or the quality of the components. Well, today I might have the answer for us. The Discover One retails for $1,899, and at that price point, there's a ton of great competition. But I've seen this on sale for a while now at $1,199, and that is incredible. That price point is amazing because when you're at that price point, usually you see very uninspiring design and low quality components. Now, in my opinion, this is anything but generic or low quality. This is a very bold design, and I'm really impressed with all of the features that it comes with. This paint color is called Cyan, and it's one of 4 unique eye-catching colors that they offer in the step-through design, but they also offer more in the step-over version. The frame design is also really distinctive. This trapezoidal shape is recognizable as a Velotric, and I think it looks great. Even up close, this is a really clean and refined design. Down here, there's some added touches with the graphics, and right here back on the fender where it meets the frame. And typically, I don't like to see branding all over the place, but this is done in a very subtle way that is monotonal, so it really integrates well with this. Now, we've established that I think the bike looks good, but is it capable? Well, this is an aluminum frame and the bike weighs about 64 pounds. This step-through design can support riders anywhere from 5'1" to 6'4". And the step-over design can support riders from 5'6" up to 6'9". And the payload capacity is up to 440 pounds. The Discover One has all the features that I recommend for the average rider, including fenders and integrated lights. It also has really impressive hydraulic brakes with 180mm rotors, a Shimano 7-speed tourney gear set, and a hydraulic front fork that has 80mm of travel. Usually at this price point, you would get mechanical brakes instead of hydraulic brakes, and they'd be 160mm rotors instead of 180. There would be an unbranded shifting set, and if there were any front suspension at all, it would be a limited travel spring fork. And I haven't even talked about the battery and range yet. This is an LG Samsung battery that is 48 volts, 14.4 amp hours, or 692 watt hours. And this battery is UL certified, which is a really awesome safety feature that you don't even see at this price point or even up into the $2,000 price point mark. Velotric says that this battery is good for a range of 58 miles when you're using the throttle only, or about 65 miles when you're using the pedal assist modes. Now, of course, weather and rider weight and other conditions are going to affect the range, so keep that in mind. Now let's talk about power. This battery is paired with a 500-watt continuous rear hub motor that outputs up to 900 watts peak and 65 Newton meters of torque. Well, this seems almost too good to be true, but let's take it out for a ride now and see how it performs. All right, we are gonna start this out in no assist mode, and I'm just gonna pedal to see how this bike will be able to perform without any assist in case the battery dies. So far, super easy. I'm on the 3rd shift point. Doesn't feel like a struggle at all. The bike doesn't feel too heavy. Nice and smooth. So that's a good sign. Once I get down at the end of this slope, then I'll kick into some of the pedal assist modes. This has 5 different pedal assist modes, and it has a thumb throttle, which I really like. We'll do a test of that here pretty soon. What I like about this throttle is it has that rubberized texture on it, so my finger doesn't slip off it when I'm using it. All right, let's bump it up to pedal assist 1. Actually, don't even hear the motor engaged or engaging in this at 10 miles per hour. So it must be if at a slower speed, it kicks in. But so far I'm not feeling anything. This is not giving me any power on the lowest level of pedal assist, really. Oh, there, I just felt it. So at slower speeds of about like 5 miles per hour. That's when pedal assist is at work. Let's move it up to second pedal assist. Okay, there we go. A little bit more from pedal assist 2. Really smooth power. To be honest, I probably wouldn't even ever ride this in pedal assist 1 because it's so faint. But this pedal assist 2 feels pretty good. And I'm able to get up to about 12 miles per hour or so. Let's move it up to pedal assist 3. Not too much more of a difference in pedal assist 3 as far as the amount of power it's giving me. This is actually one of the quietest motors I've experienced. It's a 500 watt continuous motor. Smooth power so far. Let's bump up to pedal assist 4. There we go, we got a good burst of power there. And as you can see on the gauge, a very simple computer, but it tells me that I'm very close to meeting the peak power because of that ring right around where it's giving me the miles per hour. But much better power for this mode. And pedal assist 5. Woo, big burst. That's a big burst of power. Let's see how quick we can get up to going up this hill. Nice and peppy in pedal assist 5. I'm gonna have to turn around. Finish that. Wow, it is very jumpy in pedal assist 5 right off the line, so you'll definitely want to be careful, and that kind of goes for every e-bike out there, is those higher pedal assist modes. You want to start off in a lower mode when you first get on the bike so it doesn't jump away from you. All right, let's see this pedal assist 5. Wow, this is great power and very responsive. I believe this is a cadence sensor, but it's quick to respond. And it's quick to stop delivering power too. Let's try one more burst. But as you can see, I'm peaked out in pedal assist 5, going about 20 miles per hour. You'll see when I go downhill, it's a little bit over that, but really great performance out of this bike with the pedal assists. The tires feel super stable. They're quite thick. They're 2.5 inches wide. And they have a nice groove pattern on them. So this could be a pretty good bike for light gravel paths or pavement, as you see here. I wouldn't take this on mountain bike trails or anything like that. This is an overall good commuter city bike, and I think it does it well. Riding position is pretty comfortable. The handlebars are just the right amount of distance away, and I'm sitting quite upright. These grips are made out of a rubberized material, and they have a paddle on the end, but the paddle is really flexible, and there's these grooves in here and on the back of the grips that really help keep my hands in place and comfortable when I'm on longer trips. I really like this paddle design of the grips. Now, this bike only maxes out at 20 miles per hour when pedaling with the pedal assist, but they have made this bike with hydraulic brakes, and I was kind of surprised by that. I love to see when brands put higher end or higher performance components on, bikes that might not necessarily need them, just for extra safety precaution. But the performance is really great with these hydraulic brakes. If you're going about 20 miles per hour, usually mechanicals can do the trick. in most cases, but the performance of the hydraulics is always a nice bonus and really helpful for higher powered bikes. Now in this 5th pedal assist mode, I can hear the motor quite a bit more. I think it's just fine the amount of shift points this has in comparison to some other bikes. My legs are moving, but you know, I can slow it down and really feather it nicely. Tackle this hill in pedal assist 5, super easy, no effort. So if you really want a bike to take away any of that work, you can with this. Just turn around. And once we get to the bottom of the hill here and get towards that straightaway, we're gonna do the throttle test. Now with this particular bike, the pedal assist is tied to the throttle. So essentially what that means is if I'm in a lower pedal assist mode, say for example the first one, it's only gonna give me throttle up to like 8 miles per hour. Whereas if I'm in the 5th pedal assist mode, it's gonna give me maximum power out of that throttle. So I'm gonna do the throttle test in the 5th pedal assist level. So let's see how the performance is and delivery of that power with just the throttle. So push fingers down. It's gradual, but it is peppy. It's quick off the line. Get up to speed pretty quick. And I've maxed out at about 20 miles per hour here. So both the throttle and the pedal assist are maxed out at 20. I'm really happy so far with the suspension and the comfortability of this bike. The tires are a little thicker, so that can help contribute to a softer ride, but the suspension is moving a lot. It's giving me a lot of flexibility over these bumps, which I enjoy that. And the seat is really comfortable. It's a thick foamy material and it's super wide, so that's definitely my preference. I'm happy with the comfort, especially with this price point. It's just really an amazing price point for this bike and how good it looks and the performance and the hydraulic brakes and great grips. I gotta try to find something I don't like about it, geesh. Now, I fully charged the battery overnight before this ride review, and it seems like there's some phantom draining of the battery or something, or it just needs to be charged a few more times to be balanced, because it was 2 bars off of full by the time I was going to review it, even though I had fully charged it. So I'll let you guys know an update about that in the description below after I've charged this battery a couple times. It looks like the range might not align with what they're advertising. It's always great to see when bike companies add a bell or something that will alert people when you're coming, whether that's like an electric horn or a bell or anything like that, because it's a great safety feature. It's one of the things that, even though it's a cheap add-on, I think that all bikes, especially commuter bikes, should come with in this category. Along with the integrated light and the fenders. Now this one came with the fenders and the integrated lights. And then I got the accessory of the front rack and rear rack. That just makes this bike way more versatile as far as, you know, wanting to take it to go get groceries or carrying cargo with you in a lot of different situations. I really like the cable management too, because it's nice and tidy. It's a very simple computer display, but I like that the text is nice and big, easy to read, and the screen is bright. So even when it's sunny out and glary, I can still read it. There's also a USB port underneath it, so if I wanted to put a phone mount on this bike and charge my phone through the bike's battery, I could plug it in right underneath here. Now that I've spent some time riding the Velotric Discover 1, let me share some of my thoughts on the things that I like and the improvements I'd like to see. Starting off with the things that I like. One, and I've talked about this before, is the design. I love the fun paint colors, and the aesthetic is just very clean and refined. I like how the battery is all integrated into the frame, and it's also painted the same frame color. And I just think that they've done a great job of making this feel modern, but also very simplistic. Next is this comes included with some awesome features, including the fenders and the integrated lights, which I think the average bike rider should have on all the casual bikes that are offered in this space, as well as the hydraulic brakes, which are really great performing. I also appreciate the saddle here. It's a really comfortable ride, not only as far as riding position goes, but this is wide and very foamy and comfortable for longer trips. I added the front rack and the rear rack, and it came with this elastic bungee cord to keep things secure. I think they look great. They're also really well made, and they support quite a bit of weight. These are pretty much the perfect grip in my opinion. They're made out of a rubberized material. They have that paddle shape on them, and they also have some indentation so that your hands don't slip. I'd put these on pretty much every one of my bikes if I could. As far as power goes, I've ridden a lot of 500 watt bikes, and this one is pretty powerful. And combined with this battery size, I think it's a great blend of performance and range and should suit most average riders. Now let's talk about the things that I'd like to see improved. At the full price of about $1,900, I would like to see an implementation of a torque sensor instead of a cadence sensor. Now, as far as cadence sensors go, this is pretty responsive, but when you start to look at the competition at that price point, you have competitors like the Ride One Up Limited and the Aventon Level 2, which both have torque sensors and are pretty stiff competition. I prefer a torque sensor because I like the performance better and it's more efficient. But for $1,200, I see no room for improvement, and this is head and shoulders above any of the competitors in this price point. This is the perfect $1,200 bike for the average rider, and I can't recommend it enough. Well, thank you so much for watching this review on the Velotric Discover 1. If you're interested in learning more or want to buy this bike, please use the link in the description below, and Velotric might help support the Miss GoElectric channel if they find we're helping their customers find the right bike for them. Well, until next time, drive, fly, ride. Go electric.